Welcome back to The Wicked and the Divine Uncovered, a very special Patreon exclusive bonus series from the I Read Comic Books podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Kara Szymborski, and I'm here with Tia Vasiliou.
Hello.
And today we will be talking about The Wicked and the Divine issues 18 through 22, specifically about the covers, because what we're doing here on this miniseries is doing a deep dive on the main and variant covers for this beloved comic book series. Because we really wanted to have this opportunity to explore the way that the covers for this series in particular contribute to or are influenced by the storytelling. And I personally am delighted to be on this journey with Tia because Tia knows how to look at art and make inferences from it. And I'm learning. I did great on our previous episode. So
you are doing great.
So let's see if I can keep the streak alive here. So a brief summary of where we are in The Wicked and the Divine. Full spoilers for a 10-year-old comic book series. Holy shit, Persephone is back. Let's just start right there. So, Persephone is back just in time to save Minerva, who just turned 13, from being ritually sacrificed by Ananke. And should we get like some backstory about or exposition about Ananke saying, well, I have to kill 4 of them to stave off the darkness. That's the whole point of this. This arc to me felt the most like a superhero comic. Felt a lot of like fights, there's miscommunications, there's giant robots with laser tits, there's abs.
I was gonna say it's almost Shakespearean, but then we got to the giant robots and I was like, oh, maybe not.
a lot of like, Persephone rally the underground gods to fight against Ananke, and like you see a little bit more about Ananke's manipulations of everyone. Persephone and Baphomet slept together one time, and we see that flashback and how it's not, I wouldn't say it's tormenting them, but it's there. It's there. Learned that Dionysus can weaponize a crowd if he wants to. If we were using today's words to talk about Baal, we would say that Baal needs to work on self-regulating. Woden tries to do the least shitty thing possible, but still be the bad guy. We find out that Inanna and Baphomet saved Persephone from death, and Inanna ended up paying the price. Laura kills Ananke for killing her sister, and honestly, good for her. What will happen now? And well, we're halfway there in terms of the series itself. So.
Amazing. No notes.
I realized that, I historically have not been interested in engaging with horror as a genre, but semi-recently I realized that I can engage with horror stories if they are the good for her genre, subgenre of horror. So getting to the ending of this arc with Persephone killing Ananke, I was just like, honestly, yeah, okay. She's like covered in blood saying we're gonna do whatever we want. I was like, yeah.
Yep.
So Persephone's back. That's where we kick off with issue 18.
Yeah. I mean, it's right there on the cover. So the motif for the main covers in this one, it's almost like a Polaroid from a photo shoot, right? Like that's kind of the vibe that I get, because now their heads and their bodies are depicted at the same time. Like amazing.
Ooh, it's a whole new world. She's back. We can see her whole body. Well, not her legs, but
her head is attached to her body. That's really the main thing that we're all excited about here. Once again, we have seen this recurring in a couple of different covers where the only thing that's in color is like the powers, the outfit, the makeup. The figure themselves is in black and white. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Either that or the lighting is just really weird in this photo shoot. But like she's got her glowing eyes, the glowing flowers in her sort of like swoopy powers being shown, her vines floating all over the place, and then her bright red makeup on her face.
Mm-hmm. I saw the daisies here first because they are bright and glowing and very much in the foreground. Didn't realize they were on her vines. Didn't realize the background is all vines. She's surrounded by vines.
Goddess of death and flowers.
And spring.
Yes.
I just like, I see daisies and my brain thinks Y2K. Because that is kind of like the future optimistic spin on the 70s of like the fashion cycle coming back from the 70s to the late 90s and then going towards like, oh, Y2K, the millennium. So this with like the pale blues and the daisies. That's what this makes me think of. I'm just really desperately trying to find a way to work Josie and the Pussycats into all of this.
I know. That is very on brand for you, yes. So there's 2 variant covers. Both are Jamie Matt variant covers. One is Persephone in green. It's like it's the same image, but the coloring is special for Emerald City Comic Con. If anyone remembers the Wic+Div cosplay Tumblr, this was the prize for a costume contest that I ran on that Tumblr. And I got the guys to sign it at Emerald City Comic Con, and I sent it to I forget now who won, but there were some really cool entries in that costume contest, and you could probably still go look it up on Tumblr.
Oh yeah, I see that the prices for the versions of the covers that you linked to me. The regular cover has $3.50 cover price, and the green version has a $10 cover price.
So, well, it was very exclusive.
I mean, the price indicates that.
And then there was another. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I was looking at my notes, and the only thing I wrote is a terribly corny joke of Goddess of Irish Spring, more like, with all these bright greens.
I mean, you know that pun. This is a pun safe space, right? Like any Kieran book is a pun safe space, I'm sure.
Well, what about the other one, Tia? What about the other variant?
The other variant is a Persephone headshot. So we're kind of like calling back to that. And only now she's the destroyer, like fully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the glowing skull eyes is it's pretty great. Pretty great. She's got a little skull earring to emphasize it in case you somehow missed her glowing eyeballs. And she's wearing a necklace that I definitely had a version of from Hot Topic when I was in high school.
Well, no one's going to believe you that you're the destroyer if you don't have a necklace from Hot Topic.
Well, okay.
You can't just buy your necklace from Claire's if you're the destroyer.
To be fair, I didn't leave it the way it was with just like the ring in the center on like the pleather strappy thing. I had gotten like a heart charm with my name painted on it and put that on there.
I think that like kind of tones down the destroyer aspect. Not going to lie. That's okay because as Persephone tells us, you can be the destroyer and the Daisy Girl.
This is very Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls coded. She could be all of the Powerpuff Girls rolled into one. Especially with these color variants. But speaking of color variants, Dionysus. Yeah.
Yes, I really like this one because I love how it almost looks like a Polaroid that someone took on the dance floor with him. And so then I started thinking about all of these as I looked at the I'm calling them the Polaroid covers. Like, who is the photographer? Like, who's on the other side of the picture? And then like that's obviously that's supposed to be the viewer, so that's us. So who are we? And so in this case, we're on the dance floor. And the way that is really driven home is the sort of disembodied hands that kind of cross. So we're like right there in the action, but then also they're like kind of keeping us at a like from getting too close to Dionysus.
See, I saw the hands in the foreground and I thought, okay, we're in the crowd, but most importantly, he is in the middle of the crowd. And for the other gods that where we've seen like part of a performance happening, they're on a stage at a remove in some way. And he is like of the crowd and in it, which I think is a differentiator for him.
Yeah, for sure. And I also think that tracks. I know that everybody thinks that Inanna's the cinnamon roll, but Dionysus is the one that takes care of everybody.
He really is. He's so sweet.
Yeah. And then to contrast the sweet, we have the spicy variant cover.
Why is it spicy, Tia?
Because Chrysanka.
So this variant cover for issue 19 is like in our previous episode of this series, pretty much all the variant covers were like of the same character or related to the same character that we were talking about. So it's interesting to see now we're breaking with that and going into like the variant can be whoever. And so this is,
I mean, I wonder how much of that was on purpose and how much of it was like, Chrysanka, when do you have an opening in your schedule? This week? Okay, do whatever you want. Like, I could literally not imagine him drawing any other character.
So this is Ball emerging from like a pool, and he's very muscly and very drippy wet. And the first thing that I noticed was the glass of champagne being offered to him. I'm not going to lie to you. I think this is like how men think they're supposed to look.
I think most people, the first thing they noticed, other than the very small shorts, was the Inanna tattoo
peeking out
that
from
made everybody lose their minds. Yeah. But there's something so wholesome that the first thing you noticed was the champagne, and I love that about you.
Thank you. My second thought was somebody give this man a glass of water. He's clearly dehydrated if you can see this level of muscle definition. Because it's 10 years later, and now I've heard several male actors say that that's how you get muscles like that, and I don't like it for them.
It's true. It's true. But yeah. And so, but if we want to get very like analytical here, is Ball the male Terra?
Ooh, this cover says yes.
Excellent.
This cover says yes.
Asked and answered.
Well, the way that I would say no is that one of his arms is crackling with lightning. So he's glaring at us, but we can also see his whole body, and his arm is like charged up. So even though his eyes are doing a similar thing to Terra's in the earlier variant cover, everything else is different because, as you were saying about Baphomet and the Morrigan, like he is still seen as like a threat. He has agency. He can have command of the situation.
As a black man, and I'm veering very perilously out of my lane here, so I will just put this down and like I don't know how much this is mine to really go into, but like for black men to be seen as a threat is very rarely empowering for them in the end.
Even though he's being held at like, here's your champagne, sir, like here's your towel, like this is clearly you are in control of this situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm speaking just kind of like in the socio-political context of like how do we understand relative power of a person's identity. And I think that we know that even being like a famous or powerful or influential cultural figure doesn't necessarily protect black men from stereotypes like they're too aggressive or like they're threatening, like that can still at the end of the day be used against them. So like I just am saying it's complicated, I think.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
In terms of Ball being a similar figure to Tara in the way that he's sexualized or objectified.
I see what you're saying now that you've used the word objectify. And
yeah,
some of that, again, not getting too deeply into it, but I wonder how much of that is like self-objectification, because I'm thinking about the mural that we saw a few arcs ago, where is like he's on the wall, like larger than life in this image that he's commissioned of himself to like reinforce his own godhood.
And I think that like really kind of goes along with this comparison to Tara, who hides her face all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's like he's saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. And she's saying, why don't you want to look at me?
It's sort of, yeah, like it's still in the idea of like being perceived. And then also it's just a very beautiful drawing of a beautiful body. If we want to take that's not that serious route. There's also that.
Yes. We don't have to turn everything into a discussion. It's just much more interesting that way.
Yeah, we don't have to turn everything into a discussion, but like I do think it's worth being capable of maintaining both conversations in your brain at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Like thing can be fun, and you can also consider deeper implications of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Deeply getting into it with the Norns in issue 20.
It's never just Cassandra alone. She's always with the other two, but I like that they're out of focus here, and like her being in really sharp focus and making eye contact. It makes her seem so lonely. Like whatever is going on, even though her hand down, like actually both hands, like they have a lot of tension, like the swirls of lasers are kind of coming from them. Mm-hmm. So she's clearly participating in whatever's going on, but also it's like she's not, like she's very cut off from it.
There's a stillness to her body language that's absent from the other Norns. And I couldn't decide if she was more like deer in the headlights and like, oh, how did I get here? Or if it's more like she needs a breath because everything's happening too fast.
And it also, the way that she's looking at you, the viewer, it connects you to whatever's happening with her in the moment compared to whatever the action is happening around her. We're not part of that as the viewer.
She was called the adult around this point in the story, and this is me looking at her wondering if she likes being the responsible one.
Yeah. There's just a sense of loneliness, I think, that you feel when you look at that cover.
What's
and
the
then
variant?
The Jenny Frisian variant is the Destroyer again, Persephone Aflame.
Mm-hmm.
I really love the coloring in this image. It's like definitely giving hell, and the pose where Persephone is sort of almost offering us a pomegranate, which in the mythology is what consigns Persephone to Hades. Like it's kind of interesting that it's almost like in an It Follows kind of way, right? Like, here, now you take some.
It's very like I took her lidded gaze to be she's like offering temptation or offering a seduction, but the seduction is the double-edged sword of the fruit that she's handing out.
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of imagery, pomegranates are metaphors for sensual things, so that tracks.
And then I also had a thought looking at this of, okay, if it's not seduction and her eyes are closed, it made me think of a quote from Midsummer Night's Dream that I 100% knew from the film adaptation Get Over It and not from the actual play. But
That is the most Kara, yes.
But it's the line, methinks I see these things with parted eye when everything seems double. That's the line that I thought of, and it's like, yeah, this is when we're getting the reveals. We're finding out the layers of what was actually happening. We saw one narrative, and now we're seeing the actual narrative. So I don't know if that was the specific intention, but I was like, this aligns rather neatly with what's going on in this arc.
I love that. See, you are good at this.
Okay, I'm going to have more confidence in being good at analyzing art.
Excellent. That's why we're doing this. Good.
Yay.
Okay, issue 21, the main cover is the Valkyries, in keeping with the Polaroid theme. Who's the photographer here? Obviously Woden.
I would like it to not be him.
Yeah, that means that the viewer is Woden in this image. And it's interesting because, like, so if you look at these so far, they're depicting each of the gods' powers. Like, we had the Persephone one with her vines, Dionysus, everyone's glowing on the dance floor. We had Cassandra with her, like, lasers. And what's Woden's power? Making Valkyries.
My corny line for this one was, "You glow, girls," because they're all glowing. You know, I did mention the Powerpuff Girls earlier, but I'm just saying there is a glowing blue one, a glowing green one, and a glowing pink one. So I don't think I'm far off the mark.
And then the variant cover for this one is one of my favorites, David Aja variant. And I feel like we have to shout out to our beloved Paul, who is a collage artist himself. This cover looks like it's collage. It's an image of Queen Elizabeth, and her costume is sort of made with cut up snippets of lace, and then also the mask. And like, I sort of love the implication that Queen Elizabeth is a non-gay.
Oh, I didn't see that at all. And now that you've said it, that is all there is to see. I mean, I was coming at this from more of a, oh, this is such an interesting callback to, we've touched upon like art literacy and cultural literacy going hand in hand. And if you like coming at this image, how do you know that this is a callback to a Sex Pistols aesthetic and imagery from like the 80s in a very specific moment in time in the UK where Elizabeth was the reigning monarch, and this was like a cry against the establishment and like this rough like DIY punk aesthetic that a lot of young people who were like angry or disillusioned or wanted to express themselves in new forms of art and like presenting themselves to the world aesthetically. It's like, how do you know about that? Like, how does this image disseminate to the point where like I wasn't alive in that place, in that time, in that context, but like I got a Sex Pistols CD out from the library when I was a teenager because the young internet like brought it to me in some way. And so then like I knew that imagery, but it's like, how do these images become part of our like cultural understanding and awareness and then become a reference for a comic book about gods like 30 years later?
These are all like, these are the questions, right? Like that's your thesis. That's your master's thesis. Go write that.
I also am completely delighted what you said about this being collage, that Matt Wilson's name is on here with like just straight up the Wilson tennis logo. Like there's no modifications whatsoever. It's just, yep, the name was already there. We just took it.
I love that you got a Sex Pistols album from the library.
I didn't like it or understand it, but I thought it was important to be aware of it.
I mean, it's just so it's like punk rock, but like sweet punk rock to get it from the library instead of just stealing it, which is what the punks would probably have done. All right. Shall we talk about issue 22?
Let's do it. Let's do it. This is the closing of this arc. This is all the chips on the table. This is Persephone like snaps Ananke away. We need to save little Minerva. She just became a teenager.
The foreshadowing here I think is so cool because Minnie is literally like among the machinations and like the gear. There's like she's like hiding in like a machine and there's gears and pipes and it's like, yeah, she is kind of at the center of all of the machinations that are going on in the story and with the characters, and then also literally hiding. And then I also like how the gears remind me of the epaulets on her jacket.
Realizing that we didn't have a mini headshot cover either.
Oh, that's true. But it's like the symbolism of them reminding me of the epaulets. It's like she's literally carrying the plot twist on her shoulders.
Oh, poor baby. And she's like, we can't even really see a lot of her body. We just see her frightened eyes through the typeface of the title.
Right. And the big glasses.
She's just obscured by everything. Poor baby. So ominous. So much light. And I noticed with this one that the lighting on this, it feels sinister. I think even without the like seeing the jaws of the machine and knowing the context that she's in, this is a very light book. There's a lot of glowing. Even when the color palette is dark, there's still like a neon vibe to it. Mm-hmm. And in this cover, that light turns sinister with like the intense shadows, and there's something just a little off about the glow that's happening. It's like not quite, I don't know, the whole thing felt very dun dun dun.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Matt Wilson's like super good at coloring.
Noted.
All right. The Ollie Moss variant is so freaking cool. It's so cool. I just want to know, like, I have questions. Like, tell me everything. It's like a bust, but it's like a 3D, but it's like a photograph of a 3D bust of Lucifer. And I love how it's kind of like gesturing to antiquity and has a sort of everything you love will crumble to dust vibe.
Very Memento Mori. See,
it could almost be like a funeral bust. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, this is where I took the like it's just pretty approach, and I was like, even in stone, these cheekbones are everything. Gone but not forgotten, my fallen queen.
Yeah, they are excellent. No, I know it is just pretty, and I want to know, like, did the artist sculpt it and then take a photograph or make a 3D model on a computer program? Like, I wish I knew. This is a case where I wish I knew more about the artist process, just because I'm really interested in like the mechanics of it.
I'm also just thinking about in the previous episode we recorded, we talked about Sekhmet talking about how Sekhmet is made of stone and can't feel anything. And now we're looking at a bust of Lucifer made of stone, like can't feel anything, but also like becoming more of a symbol than a person at this point in the story because she's been dead for so long. I really don't like where I took this.
Well, Kara, I don't know if you've noticed this, but you're like a secret goth. Okay, the Morrigan's your favorite, and you have a Hot Topic necklace, and you're talking about death. Like, those are the 3 requirements, okay?
Okay. The most cheerful, like, flower. Oh, I guess, the Persephone thing. I'm looking around, and I am surrounded by floral prints on almost everything I own. So, okay, I'll be a floral goth. I'll take it. Well, I am really grateful for our conversation today. I'm thrilled that we are continuing our journey into this wild ride of a story, because I got to tell you, I never actually finished reading the story, and we're halfway through it, and I know I have a ride ahead of me, so I'm excited.
Wait, really? Oh,
yeah.
No.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no is right. So, like, I know
I was wondering, when we were talking about what are the... Damn it, Karen, now I can't talk about the spoilers.
Oh,
but like... One of the characters we were talking about, their cover, and I'm like, it's weird that you're taking this at face value, but I'll go with it.
Well, so TBD on how much ahead I'll read to make for a better discussion. Like, I know I've read further than this point. I also know that I never finished it. And I think that this is like a thing that I do with art that I like. I don't finish the story because finishing it means saying goodbye to it. And I'm really not, anyway, so growth, closure, we're on this journey together. Thank you all to our fabulous listeners. If you're listening to this when it first drops, that means you're supporting us on Patreon. And we thank you for that, because it means that we can do a special edition miniseries like this. Please join us for the next half of The Wicked and the Divine Uncovered, coming soon to a podcast platform near you. And thanks to Zander for editing. Once again, we did not have a proof listener, so good luck with that. And I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, comics are good, and so are you.